Well, good morning. This is Karen with Veronica's Dreams Tarot and Coaching, if I could speak. And this reading, we're going to take a look at the issue, how you see yourself, what you don't see, obstacles, strengths, um, action step, and outcome. These are usually things that you might want to take a look at and do differently. So that's kind of why there is an action step in there. And keep in mind that tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. You have free will, you do what you do. Um, I like to say that when I have those action step cards because it's really up to you. This is a tarot reading. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. Um, this is daily, so it's going to be a very current situation. And this is for everybody. I do personal readings. My link is in the description below to my website, and we will get going in a second here. I'm using Wizards Tarot. Okay. Root of the situation, judgment. How you see yourself, Hangman. What you don't see, and obstacles. So that's Six of Pentacles. Obstacles. Oh boy, that is an obstacle. Nine of Swords. Your strengths. Queen of Swords. Action or advice is Temperance, and outcome is Seven of Swords. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Six of Swords is at the bottom of the deck here. And she's in a car and she's moving forward, of course, out of, a bad situation or just onto a better place. And I do feel like that's what this is. And part of how you see yourself is the Hangman, which means that you feel stuck. So you don't feel like you're doing this. So these readings, this spread is about like changes that you want to make, and this is something that I would say you do. You know, you are looking for forward movement, but you're feeling stuck. So the basis is the Judgment card, and that makes sense to me that moving forward with the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck, this is specifically about you want to come. It's almost like you want to come back alive. Like, the Judgment is about rebirth and discovery too. To me, Judgment can be about discovery, but there is this rebirth feeling that you want, and I feel like, okay, so how you see yourself as the Hangman. And I feel like what you see right now is that you've been looking at this and trying to figure it out, and you feel like nothing's happening, but you don't feel like you're not doing anything. I mean, yes, Hangman means you're not doing anything, but you are. You're looking at it from all angles. You're trying to figure out how to do this. I think it's like more of a quandary than anything else. You're like, how do I get this feeling back? I want to, change where I'm at. I feel like there's this feeling of something missing. I don't know why I feel that way, but like when we want to rebirth, it means that we're kind of looking back in the past, and there was something that we had in the past that we're trying to get back. We're trying to, you know, come back around. I feel like that's good as long as you're not expecting exactly the same, because the past is the past. I mean, that's how we have to look at it. And I think that you see yourself just as you are. I mean, that makes complete sense. You're trying to figure this out. You're trying to look at it from different angles. How can how can you do this? How can you move forward? How can you it's almost like, yeah, I mean, I think it's just something that you want back. This could be any life area, honestly, and it could just be within yourself, trying to, work through a situation within you. Um, your obstacle is Nine of Swords, and I think that's says says it all. I mean, Nine of Swords is about anxiety, stress, nightmares. So I feel like your obstacle is that this is so important to you that, and when you don't feel like you're moving forward because you see yourself here in the hangman mode, that you get stressed and you get anxious. And is this going to happen? Is anything going to change? When am I going to see this renewal? How am I going to, I mean, it's that anxious, like that kind of feeling, which, I mean, it makes sense when we're trying to make a change and we are thinking about it, but there's no movement. And this is what you want, is the movement, is the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Plus we have the Chariot right after that, right? You want to move forward. So that's, I mean, that makes complete sense. And there's a, you know to get around this obstacle, it's a hard one because this is in your head, and you just have to decide that not to be anxious about it. I mean, and that's not an easy obstacle because you don't just snap your fingers and have anxiety or nightmares gone. When we're worried about something or trying to fix something and we don't feel like it's happening, we worry, we stress, we get anxious. And I think that that's why your action step is here, which we'll talk about in a second. And then we have Queen of Swords. So non-gender specific is, this is something you have. You're smart, you're intelligent, you know what you want, you have it pinpointed, you've got the I always sit up really straight when I think about the Queen of Swords, and because I think she's so like on it. She takes away the emotion, she takes away the passion. She looks logically at the situation, and right now I feel like you're trying to do that. Like, you have the logic within you, and you have this Queen of Sword ability within you to really pinpoint what's really happening here. And some things we can't change by osmosis, or I mean, we have to take action to change them. And how do we do that? And sometimes it's trial and error too. But you do have the logic behind you. Now, what you don't see is the Six of Pentacles, which I feel like this can be one of two things. Either what you don't see is there are people around you that you could reach out for help, or you do have more than you think you do. Like, you're trying to be reborn, but you're only looking at what you don't have. Yeah, this isn't the Five of Cups, but I feel like it's a balance. Like, you do have the ability to give and receive, but I think also what you don't see is you're giving a lot. So there's some, I mean, and that could be in a whole different area in your life, right? So you're working on one thing, but you're giving over here, and it's really hard. Like, and this is so, it could be so many different things. I was just thinking it could be relationship, where you're trying to, bring back that new feeling, or it could be like a job where, that first excitement when you first got it, or those kind of feelings is what you're trying to get back. And this tells me too that, you know in situations that involve other people, there is a give and take. And sometimes one person gives more than the other. And you could be giving, 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 and when you're not getting back, there's no way to get that balance. Um, and your action, or advice, is temperance, which is about finding balance. But more than that, I think too. I think with temperance, we have to remember is the alchemy. She can create as well. There's something about temperance that I believe that with, and she's got the infinity sign in front of her. So as long as you are willing to take the balance, which to me the infinity can also be balance, right? Because we're we're doing this, but we're constantly coming back to center, and that's fine. Like, we have to do that to get back to center. Um, so as long as you have that in your head and you can go, okay, I know I got this. I know that I can XYZ or whatever, and putting that balance into place. I feel like I do feel like this is something you've been working on for a while, and I see that because of the hangman, and there's a little bit of a frustration there too, um, in how you see yourself, and it makes sense to me because we get frustrated when we're in hangman mode. I mean, we just do. Um, I mean, sometimes we definitely put ourselves there, but if we don't feel like anything's happening, it gets very hard. But I think this is a reminder for the balance too. Like you don't work on this 24/7. If because the only way you're going to get past the anxiety piece is to let it go sometimes. Like and this is hard, but our action steps can only we can only do what we can do when we can do it. And it's not like thinking about it is going to, you know, just thinking about it. Like, it doesn't help us. We either use this Queen of Swords, which is in our strengths, and we do the logical thing and we do the pros and cons and we go, we could do the, we can do this, we could do this, we can do this, we could do this, or an action plan or, come up with that. Like, and then that will bring you balance because if you're sitting there in a place where you're not taking any action but you're constantly thinking about it, that's what's causing the stress. That's what's causing the anxiousness because you're in a place where you're thinking about it when you're not doing anything about it. And that's the biggest issue with stress and anxiety. And I have anxiety all the time and I know that. Like when I am thinking about something and not taking action on it and it's the same thing that goes through my head over and over again, then I can feel it. I start getting anxious. But I'm not doing anything about it and I'm thinking about it when I can't do anything about it. So instead of here's my plan, let it go, do your plan, and that's where that queen comes in, the Queen of Swords, then you can get past this feeling. It's hard. Hey, I know, like I don't ever this is a hard thing, but it is exactly that. When you are thinking about it when you can't do anything about it. And this is the hard part because if you're someone that wants to get things done, it's really hard to just let it go. But unless you, the best thing you can do is create that action plan, follow your action plan. If it's not panning out, then you create a new action plan. You know, and I'm taking this advice on my own too as I talk about it because it makes sense. And I need to do this too for work and for things where I'm not super thrilled in my life. But the and personally, I'm just going to say this. I do like I'm trying to get back on a workout schedule because after my illness I got super weak and my muscle tone has not really come back. And all I need to do is say, hey, spend 10-15 minutes a day doing some strength workout, light strength workout to start building that muscle tone back. Well, I say I want to do it every day and I never do it. And then I get anxious about it and it happens every day and I want to kick myself because it's like, why are you getting anxious about it? Stupid, silly. Not stupid, but silly. You're being, you're not being realistic with yourself. You either choose to do it or you don't. And if you don't, it's fine. There's no judgy, right? I'm not going to judge well, I do judge myself all the time, but if we really do that, stick with our plan, then that anxiety will go away. Or if we say, well, you chose not to do that today, this was your plan and you didn't follow your plan, shame on you, don't get anxious about it. You either do it or you don't. And it's hard because motivation, being having that willpower, it's hard. I'm not playing around here. The out, so sorry, but that's a little bit. I mean, sometimes it helps to hear what other people, have to deal with. But the Seven of Swords is the outcome here, and I feel like that is about. So the only way to take your life back, going right back to those action steps, is to find balance within yourself, create a plan, stick with it, because that will give you the alchemy you need, and that will give you the movement that you need, and it will create more balance that you need. So the balance is what you really need, but you have to make that action to take your life back, because the Seven of Swords is a pretty good outcome in this kind of situation, because it's about taking your life back. And if you do, then you take back what what you're stressing about here, and you'll get out of that hangman mode, and you will move forward into a better place and be less stressful and less anxiety. But it's again making that plan and sticking to it. So after this reading, I have to stick to my plan. I can't believe that this resonated with me a lot, and I didn't even think about it until I got to that point. But we do that, and this is about the give and take too. I think what you don't see is that, like, and it this could be physically with another person, or this could be also within your head. If you don't give into your plan, if you don't give to your plan, you're not going to get out anything of it. So that can be another thing that you don't see and don't realize. But if you give to your action plan, then you'll reap benefits. If nothing else, you will feel successful that you followed it, and that's a good feeling in itself. So there you have it. I hope this resonated. If it did, please hit the like button. Keep in mind, my personal growth readings are going to air. I have them airing on the 23rd, so I've got them all done, and they're set up to go. What's today? Oh, in 2 days. Oh, I'm really excited about them. I really am. And again, I'll be posting the monthly horoscope or astrological zodiac ones at the beginning of the month, or right at the end of March, and then I'll go in order again. I think I'll do the general at the beginning of the month. The second week into the month will be the erotic. Then the middle of the month will be the love readings, and then the last week of the month will be the personal growth, and I'll just keep it on a rotation like that. I probably will look at doing some of these a little differently. We'll see, but your comments are much appreciated, and they really are. So take care. Have a beautiful day.